Well, this is a wild way to end the week. MAGA got exposed as a scam. Who would have thought? Last fall, Trump finessed 77 million people into voting for him. For context, that's compared to Joe Biden's 81 million in 2020. But I digress. Most people claim they voted for Trump because of his promise to lower the cost of living. Also, some say they stayed home because they believed all the crazy stories they saw on social media about Kamala. You know, everything from her not really being black to her purposely locking up black men, and then that really big one about her supporting free transgender surgeries when that policy was already in place under Trump 1.0 and Joe Biden. If you believed all those things, I hate to break it to you, but congratulations, you played yourself. Because all of that information was coming from overseas bot farms. Apparently, this was all a part of Trump's strategy to usher in his latest grift. Now, you know it wouldn't be Pragmotiv if we didn't come with the receipts. So sit back and relax because I'm about to blow your mind. But first, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so that you'll be the first to know when we post. This is Pragmotiv News, and it's your boy Trey. So Trump just got caught reposting a bunch of fake MAGA supporters from overseas. Yeah, you heard me. Overseas, as in not in America. This is something I innately knew, but until now, we just didn't have the proof. And in an odd twist of events, we have to thank Elon Musk of all people for exposing this grift. So according to Midas Touch, Trump spent Monday night reposting accounts that looked like MAGA superfans. I'm talking about flag emojis, bald eagle profile pics. They probably even had Kid Rock playing in the background. But a new feature on X Twitter exposed that these accounts were actually run from places like Eastern Europe and Asia, and not the United States. Now, imagine being the leader of the largest movement in America, and it being exposed that half your hype squad is typing from an internet cafe in Kazakhstan. Now, that's not a movement. That's a parade where everybody stayed home. So let's take a look at these profiles. Now, keep in mind, these are some of the most active Trump ass kissers on Twitter. So the first one's profile states that he is a, quote, content publisher and claims he is a Trump fan, hashtag love Trump. However, when you click on about this account, you discover he is based in South Asia. Now, why would a South Asian man be in love with Trump and trying to convince Americans to support Trump? It's given bot. Next, we have another account who goes by the name of Mila Joy, who's been getting a lot of online attention lately. So she claims that she is based in the United States. She also says that she is a politically conservative wife and mom and supports MAGA and America first. However, X-Twitter says that her country or region may not be accurate because she is, quote, using a VPN. So how can you be America first but not be in America? Again, it's given by. So as you can see, Donald Trump reposted that bot and her propaganda lies that Governor Gavin Newsom of California created a nonprofit just to steal fire aid money and didn't give one penny to fire victims. This is what is so dangerous. I have heard so many people, even A-list celebrities, using their platforms to spread this kind of misinformation. And that is what truly pisses me off because it's just plain evil. So next, we have these two MAGA influencers, quote, MAGA influencers, who Twitter says are located in South Asia. So y'all get the picture. I'll take bots for 300, Alex. So if the support is fake, then what the hell does that make MAGA? A fucking grift. A propaganda campaign. The political version of those get-rich-quick schemes that promise riches only after you invest your hard-earned cash. Real movements don't need bot farms. Real movements don't need overseas applause tracks like it's a damn 90s sitcom. So now let's dive into Trump's actual policies, because this is the other point that I really wanted to make today. They have all failed. Let's talk about healthcare and the pandemic, for instance. Remember Trump's daily press briefings? You know, the ones where he consistently told people not to wear masks. Or that one when he told the American people to inject themselves with bleach. Yeah, them. Experts have opined that over 1 million Americans died because his administration threw out the plan that Barack Obama had left him. Now, I mean, Barack successfully managed Ebola and the swine flu, but Trump's ego made him scrap it all. And to make matters even worse, he ignored the warning signs and refused to create his own plan. And every time something went wrong, of course, he literally blames anybody else but himself, which is par for the course for that lizard. He literally said, quote, "If we stop testing, the cases will go down." Really, dumbass? That's like a kid hiding a bad report card under the mattress and pretending they got straight A's. And now Trump wants you to believe that he, quote, saved America. Bro, you couldn't even save a damn PDF file to your downloads folder. Mr. I tweeted what I meant to text. All right, so now that we've covered healthcare, what about that promise about the economy and creating more jobs? Take the auto industry, for example. They were bracing for massive losses because of Trump's tariff threat. The only reason they're still afloat is because he keeps rolling back the tariffs right before they're about to go in place. And he canceled Biden's climate policy that penalized the automakers for not meeting certain emission standards. But things are still on rocky ground. CarMax, the nation's biggest used car dealer, saw their stock tumble almost 50% this year. The job market is dismal. So much so, Trump has had to fire the people who produce the reports for the government just so that he can keep his MAGA propaganda flowing. Again, this is a game of smoke and mirrors. Just like that 2017 tax cut bill. That bill was just as useful to the middle class as a buy one, get one free yacht sale. So as you can see, he didn't make the economy great again. Now let's talk briefly about ICE. Just like Cam reported on yesterday, ICE has become Trump's personal goon squad. They're not focusing on legitimate threats like they promised. They're openly conducting Supreme Court-sanctioned racial profiling. Don't believe me? Take a look.
The woman at the center of this says she was just steps away from her home when agents in an unmarked car hopped out and came toward her. This is the walkway she was on, and it was all captured on her home's surveillance camera. Leave me alone! Home surveillance video captures the moment 22-year-old Jacelyn Guzman sprints toward her Marrero home, shouting that she's a U.S. citizen as masked men run after her. Guzman says she had just walked back from the corner store when an SUV pulled up.
I immediately started telling him, like, I'm born and raised here, like, I'm a U.S. citizen, and he did not care at all.
Moments later, a second unmarked vehicle pulled up, and more men in tactical gear jumped out.
Because I didn't know if I should run or not. I was scared. But then another car pulled up, and that's when I was like, oh, I'm out here.
Inside the home was her baby daughter and her stepfather, who heard her screaming and ran outside.
Hispanic people against Hispanic group.
Confronting the men and ordering them off the property.
Screaming is the worst feeling ever because I thought she really was like somebody wanted her, you know?
Guzman believes the agents singled her out because of her appearance.
Here, they're just like racially profiling all POC, people of color, you know? And it's entirely wrong because they think that they are superior than us. And the man that was chasing me, he was Hispanic. So it's a little like, you know?
She believes she was being abducted, not approached by law enforcement.
I was about to get kidnapped. I was like, oh my God, they're about to take me. Like, but they actually hopped out and did try to take me.
Moments later, she grabbed her baby and went back outside, this time demanding answers, but says the agents never explained why they targeted her.
I have no idea. brown.
Customs and Border Protection confirms hundreds of agents were deployed across the West Bank this week as a part of a large immigration enforcement operation, one they say was aimed at violent offenders. But immigrant advocates and several residents we've spoken with report many of the people being stopped or detained are day laborers and tradesmen. Guzman says the fear hasn't faded, and she worries about others in her community.
It's devastating, it really is. It's hard to talk about too because, like, it makes me scared for my family as well.
And that was Whitney Miller reporting. We have reached out directly to the Department of Homeland Security, asking them to confirm whether the individuals in the video are federal agents, why Guzman was approached in the first place, and how the agency ensures U.S. citizens are not mistakenly targeted during these immigration sweeps. And so far, they haven't responded.
And don't count on them ever responding. I guess that video shows and epitomizes the phrase, all skin folk ain't kinfolk. But Trump and MAGA insist that what you just saw in that video is law and order. But no, this is just a sick reality TV stunt with real life consequences. So putting all this together, you have foreign bots masquerading as MAGA influencers, catastrophic healthcare policies, catastrophic ICE raids, economic stagnation, inflation born from Trump's mismanagement of COVID-19, and a long list of broken promises since Piggy rolled down that escalator 10 years ago. Taking all of this into consideration, MAGA really starts looking less like a political movement and more like a Ponzi scheme in a red hat. Trump isn't selling solutions, he's selling merch that's made in China. He is selling outrage and drama. Because if you're too mad to pay attention, then he can sell you anything. Don't let yourself be fooled by slogans, and don't let propaganda replace common sense. Don't let someone with a golden fucking toilet convince you he's fighting for the middle class. Like, comment, and subscribe, and follow @Pragmotiv News everywhere so that you can stay prag-motivated. Also, remember you can find us across all the major platforms, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Audible, and iHeartRadio. Please help us spread the word by sharing this video with your family and your friends. Now that's a wrap for us this week. Until next time, peace.